All right. Hi, everyone.
How are you?
Are you going to put it so is she going to see me?
She hung up.
Oh, okay. Well, hi, I'm Chago. Everybody's looking good. And, okay, now, nowadays, everybody, there's a,
There you go. And she.
Perfect.
okay, now I'm ready. Okay, so can anybody tell me what the biggest action star is right now? Hold on. Espérame tantito. I forgot something. Can you hear us? Okay. Here we go. Okay, can anybody tell me who the biggest action star is right now?
Brad Pitt.
Brad Pitt?
Tom Cruise.
¿Mami?
¿Qué dijiste, hijo?
Well-
Que si everybody is ready?
Ya empecemos.
Okay, ready. Okay. Relax, don't worry, be happy. I'm here.
Ya empecemos.
Ya te oí.
Okay, so the biggest, who do you think the biggest, well, you said Brad Pitt. Well, what about maybe Christian Bale? You know, or Hugh Jackman. You know, Hugh Jackman. Well, back in the 1940s, the biggest star, and he's the one I'm going to be talking about. The biggest star back then was his name is Eroll Flynn. He made movies. He made Captain Blood and a bunch of other stuff. Well, I'm gonna talk about him. I'm gonna talk a little bit about his background, and I'm gonna talk something about what his what caused his downfall, what caused him to fall from fame. Let me start with with what made him famous. Or better yet, let me start with the beginning. He was born in 1908 in Tasmania, Australia. He was one of these guys that always got into trouble. He got kicked out of school. He was doing this, doing that. He had girls all over the place. He was a tall, good-looking guy. But as time went by, he just kept getting into trouble. Anyway, he found his way to New Guinea in Australia, and he started getting odd jobs. He actually tried to start a plantation. He started trying to start a copper mine and gold. He started mining for gold, and he did a bunch of other stuff. But fast forward even more. He didn't do very well in any of those things. But somehow he found his way to England, and he started acting. Somehow he got into that. So he's doing little parts, nothing famous, nothing big. There was just little stuff. But he looked like the right kind of person, according to what they're looking for at the time as far as actors. So Warner Brothers was looking for somebody to cast in a big movie called Captain Blood. And one of the guys, the producers in England said, "Hey, look, I got just the guy for you." So he went down to Hollywood, and they cast him on the spot. And as soon as that movie went out, I mean, he was an instant star. He was like a Brad Pitt, Christian Bale, put them all together. He was like the hugest star of the time. So he starts working on other movies, and one of those is that even brought him even more famous. Robin Hood. 1942, when I was 1940, he made Robin Hood. And this thing just shot him even higher up into stardom. It was such a great movie. I highly recommend all you guys watch it. Now, with those movies, though, came a lot of fame, a lot of women, a lot of drinking and doing stuff, and that same fame brought about his downfall. And so the way that started is first he got into trouble because he was arrested. So he was arrested. He was charged with statutory rape for being with some two underage girls. And so that he went to court, he fought it, he won, he was acquitted. So he had found him not guilty. So, but that, instead of hurting his career though, it actually helped his career. So he actually ended up getting even more famous. That's where the phrase "in like Flynn" comes from. You guys know? It's because he was lucky with all the ladies. So if you're in like Flynn, that means you're lucky with the ladies. So Eroll Flynn. So he got, that actually didn't hurt his career. But in 1942, World War II was starting, and it was starting to really kick up, and he tried to join the military, and they wouldn't let him in because he had problems with his heart. He had a heart murmur. He had a bad back. He had back pain, and also he had a lot of venereal diseases. Yeah, a lot of venereal diseases. So that, I mean, he couldn't join the military, and that's what really hurt him. Back then, in those days, I mean, anybody that was anybody had to join the military, and if you didn't, then you were considered less of a man, pretty much. So the fact that he didn't join hurt his career, and then he started drinking. He started taking pain pills, and so his movie parts started declining, and he didn't get anything. You know, he started drinking even more, getting into fights, and then he was married at the time too. So he cheated on her, and then when he was with her for a while, he cheated on the next wife that he got, and then he divorced her, and then he kind of, you know, he was making movies, but they kept getting worse and worse, and he just kind of disappeared into obscurity. And then he got together with a girl that was 15 years old. He was in his 50s, or close to 50s, and he got with this girl that was 15 years old, and they were getting ready to steal down to go to Jamaica together, and they were at a party. He went to take a little nap, and he never woke up. He had a heart attack.
Oh.
So in conclusion, you know, Eroll Flynn may have been famous, may have been rich and famous, but you know, his downfall was slow and declining, and it's one of those things that had he made better decisions, it may not have happened. So, thank you very much. Thanks for listening.
Bravo!
Okay, well, hold on a second.
Bravo, mijito.
Hold on. Bring him over this way so I can
Viejo rabo verde.
Here you go, Dr. Fitzgerald. These are all my people. I have 2 on FaceTime or 3 on FaceTime and 3 people. 3 actual live human beings and 1 dog.
Oh,